Well, hello and welcome. My name's Gwen Houghton, and you are watching Astro Tarot Vision. So today is Thursday, April 21st, and tomorrow we have a full moon in Scorpio. We had the sun move into Taurus on April 19th, and the sun's going to be in Taurus until May 20th. What I'm feeling from the energy today, we still have a moon in Libra, so I'm feeling a calm. I'm almost feeling like I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to share my opinions. So I'm doing this video with trepidation. But I also feel like I'm doing a lot of soul searching, and I'm going within. And that's what this full moon in Scorpio is asking us to do. The Scorpio energy is a fixed water, and the Taurus energy is a fixed earth. So this is a really good time to do some contemplation. And I say that, and the energies back that up, because we have so many planets that are retrograde right now. We have I'm just going to look at my notes to keep all this straight. We have Mercury in Taurus, and that's in retrograde shadow, and that's going to be going retrograde on April 28th. So we're starting to feel things kind of wind down, kind of like how I'm feeling today with the Libra moon. And then we have Mars and Saturn that are retrograde in Sagittarius. The Sagittarius energy is, the urge to organize. So it's a perfect time to open the windows, do the spring cleaning, get the yards cleaned up. It's going to be here in the Northeast, New Hampshire. It's going to be perfect weather to be doing that. So, if you're feeling that urge to want to organize and get organized in any way, then, go with that, because that's the energy you're working on, depending on what house it's in. It might be organizing your books, it might be organizing your house, it might be organizing your thoughts. So just that's why it's really good to be conscious and be aware of what's going on. And we also have Jupiter that's retrograde in Virgo, and we also have Pluto in Capricorn that just went retrograde on April 18th. So needless to say, this is the perfect time for reflection. What I was starting to say earlier with the Taurus opposition, whenever there's a full moon, the sun is in opposition, which is on the opposite side of the astrological wheel, in opposition with the moon. And so the sun in Taurus is in opposition with the moon in Scorpio. So fixed water, fixed earth. And Scorpio is about going within the depths of who you are. And Taurus is about bringing it into your physical existence. With all the planets retrograde, this is actually a perfect time to be doing shadow work. If anybody's into metaphysics, you know that there's, we do a lot of shadow work. In the shamanic traditions, you do a lot of shadow work. And what's really interesting is I went to a Buddhist retreat this past weekend on mindfulness, and basically we were doing shadow work. So what I'm finding very interesting about working with the mythology or the theology of many different philosophies and religions, is there's a thread that goes through all of it. And doing this shadow work, quote unquote, is really about looking within. It's about looking at your fears, because fear, no matter what it is the seed of all neuroses. Now we need to have fear, because that's our, the way the mind and the emotions, that's the way our senses tell us, okay, something's going on, the energy feels weird, I need to be alert, I need to be conscious, I need to be aware. But we have these deep-seated fears that are within us, and they can be triggered. And so those are the fears that they're just old fears, and they're, whenever something new comes up, it may just kind of like come up, like whoop, all of a sudden it's there, and it's there, and you can feel it, and you're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going on? And that's where we have that human response. Again, these are learned responses. So, doing the shadow work is understanding, is being aware, being conscious, seeing the fear when it comes up, and start to recognize the fear, that it's an old fear, that it's not something that's based in reality anymore. It used to be, maybe it was your reality 10, 20, 30 years ago, whatever, depending on how old you were. But it's not a fear now. And so when you bring it up into your consciousness, you have this ability to transform or transmute this fear. And bringing in what's interesting about bringing something into the light is it literally sometimes it just disappears. Like, oh, is that what it was that used to trigger me, all those years ago? Or, is this what it is that, always gets me into trouble? Like, as soon as, my mind goes here, it's like sabotaging yourself, sabotaging your relationship, sabotaging your jobs, whatever it is that may happen with these fears. They can be little fears, they can be big fears. So anyway, with all these planets retrograde, and basically the different, the basics, just the different signs that we're in, collectively are asking us to be the shaman. They're asking us to be the wise Buddha. They're asking us they're asking us to tap into that wisdom that we have, to work on to do the shadow work. And ultimately you want to do it for yourself, because a lot of people talk about karma. Well, I call it self-karma. It's like when you are living in fear, you're creating this thought form, you're creating this energy around you, and it's self-perpetuating. It keeps you in that place that you don't even want to be. It keeps you in a place that you're trying to break out of. So I'm giving you some tools. I'm giving you I'm bringing this into your consciousness, so now you can, if something comes up, you can bring it into your thoughts and go, okay, I'm going to deal with this time, because I am really tired of having the same thing happen to me over and over again. So this energy for the next 2 weeks, this is the perfect way to use this energy. When it comes to the relationship energy, we do have Jupiter retrograde in Virgo, and so this Virgo energy is it's about devotion, and Jupiter is about the urge to explore. So you may be looking for a new relationship. You may be wanting, if you're in a long-standing relationship, you may want to, you may be thinking of like bringing that relationship to a different level. And so these are all natural parts of this energy that we're going through. And of course, everybody's different. And if you want real more specific information on what what's going on, if you want to talk about what's going on with you on a soul level and what's going on with you in your reality today, give me a call, because I can do a phone reading for you, and we can get really specific about the way you can bring this consciousness into your life and change those things that you are really wanting to change. So, it's an action-packed next couple of weeks. Will be action-packed. It's a really, really good time for organizing, like I said, and planning. And that's the other thing I wanted to say before I left, sorry. We do have a lot of, I'm sensing that there's going to be a lot of movement, like literally people in May, the end of May, are going to be graduating, people thinking of moving, a lot of people move in May, you're thinking about the future. Now, between now and in May, is a really good time to be making those lists, doing the investigations, doing the planning, doing all the things that, all the Googling, whatever it is you want to find out about, where you want to live, who you want to, coming up with ideas of if you want to have a roommate, or, and even people moving in together. Maybe people, there may even be situations where, this is where you decide to end it. And this is a really good time period. It's like, even if it's sad when we have to end a relationship, but if you can use this energy and you can end the relationship amicably, you don't have to hate the person forever, just because you guys aren't getting along. The way I see it is that our souls, they separate. They come together when we need each other. The souls, we need to teach each other things on a soul level. And then we move apart as we've learned our soul lessons, and we move into the energy of other souls that are going to help us, transition into a new phase. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that happening too, and so let's, be consciously aware that the separation of the soul energy is okay. And it doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be, a lot of drama and trauma. Just understand that these are the ebbs and the flows of life. And don't you really just want to be friends with that person after it's over? It may take a little while, I'm being realistic. But, if you can be an open, honest, self, then, this is where the shadow doesn't have the ability to be a bad thing. It can be, when you see that shadow come up and say, I'm really looking for a change. I'm really looking for something different. I really just feel like we've grown apart. I still love you. I still care for you deeply, but, I just need to move on. And bringing that shadow up like that, understanding that it's all a part of us and it's all okay. Like, we don't have to demonize ourselves and we don't have to demonize the other person. Just understand it's a natural part of, humanity and in living. So that's the other energy, the other side of this energy. So just be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and enjoy the next couple of weeks. And again, if you would like a personalized reading, you can email me at gwenh@gwenhoughton.com. We will go on to the meditation portion of this video next. So for the meditation part of this video, I decided to bring in my leopard skin jasper. And it's really interesting because I really don't plan a lot ahead of time. I do the first part of the video and then I have to change my camera angle and get ready for the meditation portion of this. And so it's interesting because I'm going to try to get it up here so it shows up in the camera today. The leopard skin jasper, I actually got this meaning from crystalvaults.com, and it's interesting because it says that this is a shamanic shapeshifter's stone, helpful in journeying and getting in touch with one's power animal. Leopard skin also strengthens the sense of self, attracting the right energies into one's life to heal and move beyond past traumas while being guided to new opportunities. It's so interesting because it reflects the duality between dark and light, teaching one to recognize dark as a complement to the light rather than the opposite. And what's really interesting is what I was talking about, when I was doing the astrology and the channeling part, is, understanding that these opposing, the opposing sun and moon and Scorpios asking us to look at the light and the dark. And I was also referring to the shamanic way of going into shadow, and looking at the shadow. So very interesting. So we will start the meditation. And you can look into the leopard skin jasper yourself. Leopard just happens to be one of the first animal totems that came to me when I was when I first started looking and doing shamanic journeys. It was leopard on one side and it was panther on the other side. And those were my total animals at the time. So just think about the leopard and the energy of the leopard skin jasper. Close your eyes and start to take a couple of deep breaths. And start to picture this beautiful ball of white light above your head, and this white light is filled with love and calming energy. And just start bringing this beautiful white light down into your head. Just gently rock your head back and forth, releasing any tension as you bring this beautiful white light into your head. We hold a lot of tension, and it blocks off our intuitive energy from the pineal and the pituitous gland in the back of our head. Pituitary gland. And just start bringing this beautiful white light down into your neck and shoulders, relaxing as you go. And this beautiful white light continues down into your chest, and as you breathe it into your chest, inhale, exhale out any unwanted energies. They're not good or bad. We just don't need them right now. And continue bringing this beautiful white light down into your waist and hips. And this beautiful white light continues down into your knees, down into your ankles, down into your toes, all the way down into the ground. And Earth Mother takes any unwanted energies and transmutes them into love and light. And bring beautiful green healing energy up from this beautiful spring earth, up into your toes, Picture your toes on the wet, cool earth of spring. Wiggle your toes around. This beautiful green healing energy moving up into your feet and ankles. And this beautiful green healing energy continues up into your knees, up into your hips and waist. And continue bringing this beautiful green healing energy up into your chest. As you bring it up into your heart, breathe it into your heart. Exhale out through your arms. And this beautiful green healing energy continues up into your shoulders, up into your neck and head, all the way up into the heavens. And this connects us with all of the universe. So now let's see what's going on with the cards today. And for the first card, we will pick the Six of Four-Leggeds. Earth, or the Six of Pentacles. So interesting. Jaguar, leopard, reclaiming power and fruits of labor. Sometimes I just, you think that I actually plan this stuff out, and I don't. I really, really don't. This is the energy that we're in right now. And the universe is saying, bam, in your face, here it is. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. So cool. Very cool. We've got the earth sign. We just moved the sun into Taurus. Reclaiming your power and the fruits of your labor. Understanding, what you have done. The past few months, the past few years, it's been tough. I mean, a lot of people have really come a long way, but we often do not take that break and say, wow, look at what I've done. So this is a perfect time to sit back, assimilate what has happened with you. I'm talking about all the good things, all the things that you've accomplished. This past cycle, these past few cycles, really, because this is, past 10 years, I want to say. I don't know why this is just, there's just a major shift that we've come into this brand new phase. So that means we're ending, we came out of an old phase. Really cool. Cool stuff. So after that, we will pick the 5 cards. So this is the energy around, the general energy around the next 2 weeks. And then we will be going into the past or present situation. Insight, wisdom, knowledge, and outcome. And the star, I take that as being all this mutable, watery energy that we've been in. It's been all the Pisces energy that we've been in for the past couple of months. Has really been, it kind of messes with you after a while. You want to be able to, you want to be able to assimilate it now. It's like coming out of a fog, like, okay, where have I been? And where do I want to go now? So, she's literally, the star is the number 17-8, which is apropos, the reducing to the 8, change, creating that solid foundation, understanding that there is a lot of energy that we have been through. It's becoming more stable, more fixed. We're feeling more in control, coming down to earth. It's all those things. The what's interesting is the Seven of Wands, Valor, understanding again the phase that you have been through, understanding everything that you have gained, understanding that you have done this. You know, we tend to dismiss it as, oh, well, you know, this person helped me this way, this, you know, and it was luck, or it was this, or it was that. And no, it was you. This is the insight, understanding that you know, you have been working hard, understanding that you have been through this shit and you have come out the other side and you are still alive and you're actually doing a lot better than you were before. And boom, good for you. Then insight, wisdom of the Eight of Cups, and you know, there's the Pisces is right there, and let me see, indolence, understanding that, you know, this was a pretty challenging winter. It was very challenging. There was a lot of energy up in the air. There was a lot of change. There's a lot of stuff going on. It was just really very disorienting and just disheveling. And if you've been listening to my astrology, if you've been listening to these Astro tarot reports, then I've been talking about it all winter. And understanding that, and understanding you've been through it, and insight, wisdom, knowledge, understanding that the Prince of Discs, you know, it's spring, there's new time, this is fertile ground for whatever it is that you want to plant, the seeds that you want to plant for this next phase coming up. Now, we do have a full moon, so there is about endings, but where there's endings, there are beginnings. Understanding that the last bits of information that you need will be received. There may be some things still sitting in the shadow, but do that shadow work, do that journaling, do some contemplation, work with the energy, and understand that this will all help you through and into the next phase that you're going through. And then the next card, the outcome, is the Two of Wands. It's domination. And to me, this feels like taking control of your life and taking control of the situation, whatever the situation may be. The situation may have come up last month, or it may be still in evolution, coming up right now. But just understand that it's time for you to take control of it. Take control of your life. Take control of the situation. Understand that it's not for somebody else to understand. And if you understand the situation, and you are the only one that can change the situation, you are the only one that can work the situation. Sorry, that's my cat Puma, and he feels like playing right now. So that's it's very interesting when you start to put the energy together and work through the next 2 weeks. And so to me, this all feels like not getting caught up in the energy of failure and not getting caught up in the energy of fear. We all fail in one way or another. We don't we don't learn things by always being good at things. We learn things by not being good at things. And if we say, okay, fine, I'm really not very good at that, then that means that's something that I need to work on. You don't just sit there and go, oh, I just don't want to do it. I'm not good at it. Boo hoo, boo boo boo. No, it's okay. This is something I personally want to work on myself. That's how you become empowered. That's how you take control. And nobody else can do that for you. Nobody else. If anybody else is helping you, that's fine. But if you're expecting them to make things better for you, in the end, it's not going to work. It's going to come back, and it's going to come back to bite you, as they would say. So do the work. Do the work. Understand that failure is okay. Understand that it's okay to be afraid as well. Fear, a healthy fear, is good for you. It tells you if something's wrong. But you need to look at that fear, and you need to go within, and you can say, okay, what am I afraid of? Is this something that I can that can help me to grow? It could be something that you're afraid to change jobs. And quite frankly, if it's something that you really feel you keep thinking about a lot, and you really want to change jobs, but you're afraid to change jobs, then guess what? It's time to look into getting another job. And that's where you can use the fear for your benefit. If it's coming up, and that's what's good about doing a lot of journaling, is if it comes up or it keeps coming up in your mind, it's really something to look at seriously, especially doing this contemplation, doing this shadow work for this next month while Mercury is in retrograde. And we have 5 signs in retrograde. Of course, this is also a time to redo things. So if something you've been wanting to do for a long time comes up, and you can finally do it, if you finally see the opening where you can actually do something about whatever it is you've been thinking about, great time. It's this is about redoing, renegotiating, revisiting, all those things, all the re's. Definitely any of the old stuff, time to get it on the table, time to deal with it, time to move past it, to move into the shiny new life. And that's what I see. I see shiny, I see sun, I see life. And you're here to live. So you're human, and that's a blessing. Being on this earth plane and being human is a blessing. So don't dismiss it. Don't waste your life having regrets because of something that you didn't do. So that's what I see. That's what I feel. I send you love and light and bright blessings. Farewell until May 5th or May 6th. And have a beautiful, beautiful 2 weeks.